Hi guys, let's make a roasted cauliflower soup today. This soup is delicious. It's a very silky cream. It's elegant. It's loaded in flavors. It is good enough to start any celebration with. If we ever are able to have, big gatherings again, like Christmas and Thanksgiving, this is a great little soup that you could start your meal with. It's also fantastic for any nice, cool day. Let's make this. So I took the florets off a medium cauliflower and put them in this bowl. And I also peeled a red apple and, as you can see, just cut it into big slices. I'm gonna drizzle some olive oil on this. I'm going to sprinkle in some curry powder. Let's call that about a teaspoon. And salt. And pepper. Now I'm just going to mix this until everything is coated. Doesn't really matter if everything doesn't get coated, really well, because we're going to make a soup out of this, so all those flavors will remain there. By the way, if you haven't subbed and you would, I'd really appreciate it. Make sure to turn on your notification button so you get notified when you have new videos. Thank you. I'm going to spread this out onto a pan, and we're going to make sure that it's all in a single layer because we don't want it to steam, we want it to roast. This is now going to go into an oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 200 Celsius or centigrade, and we're going to roast these for about 25 minutes until we have nice brown specks on everything. So while we're waiting for our cauliflower to roast, let's make a simple vegetable stock. If you would prefer to just use store-bought vegetable stock or even chicken stock, go ahead, forget about this step. So in here I have a celery stalk. You can see I left the leaves. I have a piece of bell pepper. I have a whole carrot, which I just cut. And I have a piece of onion, 2 garlic cloves. I have a serrano pepper, absolutely optional. I just cut it in half. I do want a little kick in my soup. And a couple bay leaves. I'm just going to fill this with water and let it simmer until our cauliflower is ready. I am not gonna salt this because I salted the cauliflower, and then we'll taste after we have everything together and then decide if it needs more salt. Our cauliflower and apples were in the oven for about 25 minutes. You can see we have nice, beautiful golden specks on everything. We're ready to continue with our soup. All right, our little broth is nice and done. I am going to take out that chili and set it aside. I'm going to put it back. Now we're just going to strain this and leave this aside. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to this pan, and I'm adding 2 scallions, which I chopped, white, light green, dark green, the whole thing. These were really skinny. If you have a big scallion, use 1. And I'm going to add a piece of ginger, which I peeled and just cut into slices. We're gonna go ahead and blend it, so don't worry about the size. If the ginger where you are is extremely stringy, then you might want to just put that in there for flavor and not bother blending it, because you'll have strings in your cream, which is ew. Who wants that? All right, I'm just gonna saute this for a couple minutes. I am going to add a teaspoon of ground turmeric to this. We're gonna cook that for a couple minutes. Okay, I'm going to add the roasted cauliflower and apple. Don't leave any of that brown goodness in your pan. I'm going to go ahead and wash this off with a little bit of that broth that we made so that I can get all of this. Look at this. Oof. By the way, if you wanted to say, forget the soup and eat that cauliflower, it's a great side. I got about 3 cups of our broth, so that's what I'm gonna add. And I'm gonna add a 14-ounce can of coconut milk, unsweetened. That is 403 milliliters. I'm going to return that serrano pepper to this. I am going to taste this for salt. It does need more. You guys adjust it to your taste, okay? Okay, we're gonna bring this to a boil. We're gonna let this simmer and kind of marry in there. And then we are going to blend. Probably gonna simmer about 20 minutes. Our soup is ready there. Everything in there is married till death do us part. So, if you want, go ahead and fish out the serrano pepper. I'm gonna leave it in there. Also, if you used a big slice of ginger, fish it out now. I'm going to let this cool down a little bit and then I'm gonna blend it and come back. Okay, look at this beauty. Make sure when you're blending it that you don't leave any of the soup inside your blender. So wash it off with a little bit of water, okay? All right, as you can see, this is a nice creamy soup. We don't need to add any flour, anything like that. It is nice and thick, delicious. Speaking of that, if yours is too thick, then go ahead and thin it out with a little more coconut milk or a little more vegetable broth. This is perfect for me. This is how I want it. Yum. I'm just gonna heat it through and serve. I'm going to garnish this with some finely chopped cilantro. Let's try this. Oh my gosh. This is such a nice soup. It's delicate. It has a hint of sweetness from the apple, a hint of spice, a little kick from the serrano, and you know, the turmeric in there and the curry powder. Oh my gosh, this is good. I hope you make this.